Welcome everybody. Man, oh man. You see I got a whole crew with me, but you ain't know who this crew is. And thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. All that, because it's helping getting these guys here. And I really appreciate everybody's time, just to let you guys know the time that you guys are here with me. Just to give you a little something. These guys are known as the Lousy Slaughters. And they're a local band, and we're local people. But these guys, as far as I've known, are, from how I've met them too, is really cool, down-to-earth people. And make really cool music. So it's been a pleasure meeting these guys. And it's also a pleasure having these guys on the podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I just want to ask, first and foremost, the lead singer.
Yeah, boss.
If you could pull the microphone up towards you.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. You got some sweet digs around here.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying, man. Try TV,
it looks
baby.
Good, man. I like the black light, all the artwork. Really nice, man.
You gotta set something up, right? You can't just have no white walls. You feel like you're in prison.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You gotta set something up to where you don't feel like you're behind bars. But I wanted to ask you, what was it like to get this band together? How did you guys all configure yourselves together? Have you guys been longtime friends? Have you guys how was the process?
Wow. It's kind of a little crazy. So Brandon Richards here in the blue. We went to high school together, and I was like a couple grades ahead of him. And long story short, we were in the jazz band and the band together. And after high school, I graduated. He was still there. I came back like 2 or 3 years later, and he said, "Come on, let's come over and jam some acoustics." And and it went from there for the most part. Me and him were just jamming and teaching each other how to play, and learning how to do leads off of each other and the whole 9 yards. And we ended up finding a drummer, so I hopped on bass, and that's how that started. Doug Policino was the original drummer there, and as it went on, we lost Doug, and picked up Cafra, and Cafra was from Wyndham. We met in Wyndham, working on Wyndham Mountain in the ski shacks,
nice.
and we ended up meeting Patrick. Where the hell did we meet Patrick?
And we met through mutual friends, and Cafra had to go to a wedding, and so I was supposed to fill in for Cafra, but he never ended up going to the wedding.
You gotta get closer to the mic.
Sorry about that. I should have the headphones on.
Yeah.
But so I filled in for him. I show up and he's there, and I'm like, "Oh, I thought you were supposed to be at this wedding, right?" And he's like, "Oh, well, we'll just both play," And it turned out great. We had a great time, and we just started practicing together.
That's awesome, man. It's it's always been amazing to me, like the configuration of bands, because I grew up with my dad listening to AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne and things like that. And I always wondered to myself, like, how did these guys get themselves together? And like you just said, like you lost some people in the process. And just as like this podcast started with me, I lost some people who had the idea of doing it. And then there's only been a very few who stuck by. Shout out Bob. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, Bob.
It's like
and thank you guys for coming.
you filter through the people that'll stick around for a little while.
Yeah.
But then they don't really stick around because they don't see the cause of it. And it's cool because if you make beautiful music, you'll find the right people that stick around. Now, how long have all of you guys been together and doing shows and really stuck together making music together?
With this group right here?
Yes, with this group.
Right here.
We
We're actually missing a guitar player right now. Thomas Albert. He could not make it today, but hi Tom. Yeah, hi Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Shout out Tom.
Shout out to Tom. But what do you say? Like 2 years now?
It's been about 2 years. When was Unihog? Because Pat played his first gig with us at Unihog up in Music Falls, didn't he?
No, it was at a Gyro Fest.
Right.
It was the first Gyro Fest was the first time we played together.
That was that when you were supposed to be at the wedding?
Yep, that was one supposed to be.
So that was the first one. It wasn't supposed to be the first one. But,
So that's about 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
So about a solid 2 years that you guys have had.
Practicing every week for the last 2 years. Man.
And then Mike Brandon and I have been playing together for the last like 4 years now, I think.
So there's a semi long term thing that's going on. You know, I mean, you guys, 2 years. I mean, you guys are very compatible with each other. You know, just from your sound. You know, and just hanging out with you guys. You know, before the show. I mean, you guys are just you guys are perfect. Which
We're definitely brothers.
We're tight.
But that right there, it's gonna accelerate you guys. You know what I mean?
That's very important within like in bands. You know, you gotta be good friends. You gotta be brothers. You know, you gotta want to spend the time with each other. Like
absolutely,
our band practices not only consist of us practicing, but we chill. You know what I mean? We
right.
You know, we're like family. You know what I mean? We all got each other's back. Anytime we call each other just during the weeks and stuff. You know, it's cool to have like a relationship like that within a band. You know, and it helps. With the music. Definitely. You guys connect on like a larger level than just so that's definitely important. And one thing I want to add about like with us starting the band with like me and Mike, we were just like buddies jamming, and like how it should be, just playing music because we wanted to, and it fell together, and we started booking. Our first show was at BJ's Bar in Middleburg.
Yeah, shout out BJ's.
Shout out to BJ's, man.
And,
wow.
Yeah. And we really were just kind of starting the band to like fill the music scene out there. Like there's not a whole lot of live music going on.
No.
So it was kind of just that, and like to see where it started and to see where it's gone. It's pretty crazy, like it's gone further than I've expected it. I'm sure more than Mike, what I mean?
Yeah. Brandon, you remember our first show at BJ's? We opened up with Birds of a Feather, and we closed with Birds of a Feather because we didn't have enough damn music.
Called it a Birds of a Feather.
Let's do Birds again.
No. Like even the recordings, like from that first show till now, it's like we've all like come so far, like with our instruments and stuff. But yeah, it's like I said, we started in like Middleburg, and we've gone. We've played down in New York City. We've played festivals with other bands that like we've even gone to go see ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's stuff that like I never thought I would do like as a musician. I just played guitar because I enjoyed it. I have fun doing it. Mm-hmm. And
that's amazing.
It's since the band has like we all kind of keep each other together and keep us like striving for more as well. Because if I didn't have the band, would I really play a guitar as much, or would I be trying to like learn more stuff? I probably would, but not on like it's different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've been playing for mad long. I mean, as I've known Brandon, for a fairly long time, and we went to school together, like back in Middleburg, and I was piecing it together before the episode with Mike over here, and I knew that he was talented, man. I mean, he's like 7th, 8th grade. I mean, like, playing Metallica songs. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, I'm like, he's got the eye for it. Yeah, he's got the eye for it. So, I was like, yeah, he's gonna. Whether it was the drumming because you had a drum set, your brother had a drum set.
Kind of what I started.
Yeah.
I started with the drums.
Yeah, and
I was like, I want to play guitar.
So I knew he was going somewhere. I knew because I was like, this is incredible. Like my man's playing one right now. I'm like Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean it's a easy song but for back in the day to do it. Right. But
Played that song a hell of a lot on Guitar Hero.
Oh
Yeah. That's about as far as I got. I was like,
I have to say that game kind of like in an odd way like inspired me to play guitar too. Dude, I used to be addicted to Guitar Hero. You know?
Man, Guitar Hero revolutionized like everybody's perspective of wanting to be a band member.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because it brought back that scenery of
get
rock
the vibe
and roll.
from your living room.
Just like, but it really did though, because it inspired people to want to play guitar or be a singer.
But even Rock Band, like that whole franchise with Rock Band,
That
you could
too.
have a whole band in your living room. Like,
Yeah,
like your mom, dad, watch this.
and that's the thing. My mom and my dad were the ones doing the instruments with me on the video game. You know what I mean? So it was like you got 50-year-old people inspired to try and learn guitar and stuff. You know, so. Shout out to video games, man, because sometimes they give inspiration.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's cool, man. It's cool to hear the story about something like that. A group of you guys who have stuck together and through your passion have made some beautiful music. You know, that's the thing is like
Definitely, yeah.
Bob
Great music.
Bob introduced me to you guys. And to be honest and no disrespect, I didn't know, you know what I mean, who you guys were. But when he introduced me to you guys, I sat down and I did like mad research and I just sat there literally like at 1:00 in the morning just listening to your guys' songs and then looking at some of the local performances that you guys have done. And I mean, obviously it's like you guys aren't no like fucking... It's like millions of people watch you, so I was watching from like cell phone, you know, from people listening to you on cell phones.
right.
But it was cool because I was like this is awesome, you know what I mean? These are guys who like who really vibe out with each other, and you can tell because of your music that you guys really do stick together. And then you guys create. Do you guys? I don't want to go off my own judgment because I could be completely fucking wrong, and I don't want to be. So, do you guys like get together and like talk about like how he should play guitar, and then what you know, like the symphonies of everything? How you guys put a song together? Like what is the process of how you guys put a song together?
It's Patrick's turn.
You know what I mean?
It was my turn. Well, I learned most of the songs after they'd already been made. We have made recently some really good ones together, all of us together, and but I'd say probably 5 or more of the originals. I came on listening to what Kaffir was doing, and you know, that first gig we were playing at 2 drummers. We weren't supposed to do that, so I took on a role of like laying back and listening to what he was doing and learning it that way. So that's how I learned most of them. But how we put them together after that, since I've been in the group, you know, we have an idea, we jam off it. Mike makes some great lyrics, and we tweak those, and we figure out something we can jam on, and then take a few solos, and somebody will come up with a break, and parting it out is fun because Brandon and Thomas, you know, we got 2 guitar players, and they have different styles. So you know, maybe you guys do some harmonies on this, or you comp here, you solo here, whatever it is. We organize a lot of it, but it comes out of just jamming usually.
Yeah,
And you guys just kind of like hit a certain sound, and then it just kind of sticks, and you replay it.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah. That's kind of how like that's kind of how like Bob and I do it. Is like if there's like we'll throw on like beats and stuff like that while we're making music, and if it's just like not there, it's just like no, fuck that. Search something else up, you know.
And that's you know the connectivity of it. You know what I mean? Like you guys, like I'm sure, like I mean, have you guys just sat around and like I don't know, like let's say like you were humming something, you know, you had in your head, and like you know you're sitting there, you know, just plucking the strings, you're sitting there just you know what I mean, and then just you guys just you know you connect to a certain sound with each other, you know, and that you know and I'm sure it works for you. I mean, it does work for you guys. You guys pull
great
out
description of like the whole natural way that it kind of occurs, and then
Like,
we tweak what we want, and
right.
And also,
sometimes we clash heads about it, and you're like. We like
Makes it
this,
stronger,
we like
though.
that, and blah blah, and you know, practice gets a little heated sometimes, but that's what we need to do to get through it and make it all what we really want to put out there, which is great.
That's really cool. So it's like kind of like a random thing. You guys kind of just all like jam out and then figure it out.
Yeah, it'll come from that, or it'll come from a solid idea that somebody maybe is even not as far as like writing it out yet, but like an idea that could be written out will be brought to that as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Creativity, man. Creativity is it's quite an interesting thing.
It's pretty funny. Sometimes like we'll leave the drummers in the room and they'll just be going off for like 5-10 minutes, and then we come in and we just like Michael hop in on the bass and he'll just start playing noodling something, and then I come in and sometimes we just get into some off improvisational jams and
Let's do that again.
yeah, and they're sometimes we record it, sometimes we don't, but and it sucks when we don't because it's like, dude,
that was sick. That was sick.
and then we're like, how do we do that again?
And we didn't hit that button.
So many good.
So many good jams been lost because of that. But since we've already done it, we can do it again, maybe in a different way. But
Definitely.
yeah, it's cool when that happens. It's we just all link up, and it just turns out like we're like, wow. At the end, we're like, yo,
I think maybe next song I'm going to get everybody kazoos and we'll write it that way.
That'd be a hell of a song, right? That'd be crazy.
So like as a singer, when you because like you could get pretty crazy on the guitar and drums. You know what I mean? Like. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys get like these guys are a little different than a singer because it's like you could go off on a jam, but then like how do you turn a jam to relate to the singing? Do you guys come together and like plan out what you're gonna sing about and like put it together that way? You know what I mean?
I guess it depends on the song. There's certain songs that like you just get a vibe for, and I'm like, I sit down and I like think about like Summer Heat is a prime example. Like Brandon wrote the jam part to Summer Heat on his acoustic, and I put a bass line to it, and I just kind of came up with lyrics that flowed, and I was like, where's all the cool places to smoke pot in Schoharie County? and I kind of got that from an Alex Lifeson interview in High Times magazine, and he wrote Passage to Bangkok about all the awesome places you can smoke, and we stopped off in Bogota. We burned that midnight oil. Wow. It's all. So I was like, I kind of want to write lyrics like that, like take me up on Roman's Peak and take me down Schoharie Creek, and just and it's
that's sweet. That's fucking dope.
And it was just a really nice vibey song, and I was like, those lyrics will be good. And yeah, it's stuck. I always try to change my voice for the song, and I change the tone of my voice.
Like adapt to the sound.
The song. Yeah. If I'm doing something funky, I'm gonna get more guttural in that growl. Yeah. And then if we're doing something like twangy, like the Fly song, I'll switch to my country voice. And I'll go, you know what I mean? It's me again.
Ain't of 1,000 voices. Like,
and you gotta change it up, because it's like, I don't know.
Mike is a great storyteller. That's like really what it amounts to. Like, as singing songs, like they're all stories. There's a good storyteller. You adapt the vibe of the person telling this that's in the story. So you want to change your thing for that.
Definitely. Yeah, just like he hits his wah pedal, man. I change the tone of my voice because it's like I hear the same tone all day. What am I, Liberace or something?
Yeah, have you guys been at a show, right? And then have you guys like improvised and kind of went on like even like a jamming spree at like a performance, like you kind of just like jammed out on stage?
Yeah, there's been plenty of those occasions.
Every time?
Yeah. I mean, like most of our songs, we definitely try to do a jam in it, you know what I mean? One time at Fire in the Mountain, you guys remember when the generator cut out? And we left them on a drum solo until the power came back on, and as soon as the power came back on, we all hopped back on our instruments while they're still drum soloing, and we came back in. It was a one way out.
We were doing a one-way out. It was like a 12-minute drum solo while they were filling the generator back up with gas.
Bro, that's awesome.
And then all the light, and we were in the pitch black too.
Yeah.
And when the lights came on, we were back on stage.
The music
Going,
never stopped.
going for it, man. It never stopped. It just
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you just gotta work with what's going on. You know?
Yeah, man, we just kept rolling along there.
Sometimes it gets.
They don't call it rock and roll for no reason. Yeah, shit. Yeah, man. That's yeah. You guys probably have endless stories, man. Endless stories. Yeah.
How
You
long?
guys-
How long would you guys say it's been 2 years that you guys have officially really just been solid together, right?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man. How many shows have you played locally?
In the last 2 years, just
Yeah.
Well, the last couple of years, we've been booked all summer. Usually, I mean, we're all full time workers, so we're usually only booking gigs on the weekends. You know, and our summers have been full. You know, like there's been summers where.
yeah, we'll do 25 straight weekends.
Yeah, you know.
Wow.
It's
I
prime
think we
time.
did-
Well, we have some breaks in between, you know, not exactly every
Not-
weekend, but there'd be like 3 out of the 4 weekends in the month, you know. There's
But
gigs, you know.
we also play 2 night. We'll also play like one night, a Friday night, and then we'll do a Saturday night somewhere else. So they kind of stack up.
Yeah.
I counted like almost 50. Like 2 years ago, pre-COVID, we almost did 50 gigs that year in the year.
Yeah, and generally it's all been local, you know. We like I said, we played down in New York City once. We played down in Philly once. We did a festival. How many festivals have we done? We did
Harvest Fest,
Harvest Fest, Strawberry Jam.
Strawberry Jam.
You know, we put ourselves out there as much as we can. You know.
You know, I think your guys' introduction into it was it's perfect. You know what I mean? Especially with the style of music you guys play. I mean, it's just like you guys just have a very it's a particular sound, which makes it that much greater and better. And it's the difference that makes it greater and better.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. Well, like off of what Bob is saying, like it's dope because when he introduced me to you guys, I only had a couple weeks to listen to you guys. I didn't have very long before this interview came, so I listened to you guys as much as I could, and I'm like, this actually brings back its own sense of rock and roll and personality into music itself, because it's like, dude, it's really hard to have a band that can make an impact. You know what I mean? It's really hard these days to have a band to just make an impact like it used to be back in the 70s and 80s and stuff. And it's really cool to see you guys have your own creativity and bring it into that factor. And so within those couple of weeks of listening to you guys, I'm like, yo, this is dope, because and that's what I was like, I would love to have these guys on here, because it just, you guys make a difference in music, and you help keep that fucking spirit of like rock and roll and jamming out alive.
Yeah, you guys are
are
crazy.
Yeah, you guys help help that. You guys help keep that alive, and that's what's really, really, really cool to me, because I've loved rock since, like I said, my dad exposed me to it and did nothing but expose me to it until I started doing my own thing, and I still listen to rock and roll. So then when I hear the local bands, it's like I support that fully, man, because that's creativity. And then for you guys to stick together like you do and jam out and figure it out, without being like, oh no, I don't like if you're drumming and your guitar in a different way, it's not going to work out like this. You guys find a way to make it work.
Yeah, man.
It's just really, really cool.
Dude, thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. And the whole rock and roll thing, rock and roll will never die.
Never. It
Never.
it never will. It never
change
will.
my mind.
It's a
keeps changing,
vibe.
but it keeps changing. We try to keep it true to the original idea, we're blessed to have a beautiful scene of people that love rock and roll, and they love jam, they love to hear some improvisation, they love to hear solos, they love music played by musicians on their instruments at the same time, live in front of people, flying by the seat of their pants, doing the songs they know. There's the night could go however it goes, and we're just thankful to have people that want to listen to that type of thing and get involved and have a crowd all dancing together and having a great time to a live band.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to all those dancers out there. Those dancers keep us going, man. You have no idea.
We feed
Thank
off
you.
that energy.
You know, we did a live stream performance.
It's the energy that's given.
What was that, a couple weeks ago now?
Yeah, that was
We didn't have an audience, and I thought about it before we were doing it. I'm like, nah, we jam all the time, like practice at practice, and without an audience, But not having an audience there when we really needed that energy for that type of what we were trying to do there, it
Definitely affected it.
it affected me,
Yeah.
for me at least,
super nice to have people there.
There's an
It's
energy in that.
Yeah, to have that energy. Trying to put the whole live show energy into the live stream. It was an interesting thing, and you got some motivational things ramping you up. You got a little nerves going on because we haven't played outside of the homestead in however long, and we've just been practicing by ourselves. Playing with ourselves for months, and then we get there. It's exciting, but then you're kind of torn, or it's like you just miss having people there, and we can't wait. But it's different, and I think the video came out. It looks like a stage. It looks like we're playing for people, but there's nobody there except for a couple of our friends and little crew we had going on, and that was cool. But we missed the dancers.
France, it goes out like that, and it's what it is.
Yeah, we just laugh at it.
We're lousy. What do they care? Those lousy guys,
Lousy slouters.
So do you guys have any shows booked next? You guys got any, what's your next show booked? Let the people know.
We have one.
In May.
Yeah, we have one in May, and we also are we have something going on in August. The one in August we are not allowed to announce yet, but it all has to do with COVID. It's really been put a damper on, because we could be fully booked right now, like this time last year, or the year before. We're usually booked for the summer, pretty early on, in the spring, So unfortunately, there's been that limitation of booking, but live music is slowly starting to come back, and the outdoor music is going to be happening. So,
That's the beautiful thing, definitely.
and that's where we're kind of going to be steering towards, the outdoor stuff this year. Stuff's popping up. It's kind of just
Slowly but surely.
slowly but surely. Yeah, I guess.
It's just buffering. It's just going around in circle. We'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely, keep us posted and everything like that, because I'll put on my social media out to you guys. I'm gonna put all the links just so that you guys know. I'm gonna put all the links to where their Facebook is and everything online. I'm gonna let you guys know how to get their CDs, how to listen to their music, things like that. I'm gonna put that all in the description. But if one of you guys want to explain any pages that you got that can search you up.
So we're on Facebook, The Lousy Slouters. Let's see, I think it's facebook.com/SlouterMusic3. It's pretty much Slaughter, only the O is an A. It's a very long story how this name came. But anyway, so we got CDs right here, and it's a 10-song soundboard. And this is for you, Bobby.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's a 10-song soundboard from our production at High Peaks Studios up in Saratoga that happened. Shout out to High Peaks. You guys are awesome, man. Awesome. And we had a lot of fun. It was different because we didn't have a crowd, but we like what we put out, so we threw some discs together. They're available at the Break a Bean General Store, and they're... you can also get in contact with us through Facebook, and we'll mail them out to you, $10 a copy. Our music's really different because we'll do funk jams, and then we'll do psychedelic jams, and then we'll do country jams. So every track on this collection here has a totally different kind of feel. You know, there's reggae, there's rock, he's post-hardcore. We get into the double drumming
That's so
once
sick.
in a while. You know, it just. So
variety on that.
yeah, you will not be bored by listening to this CD. Yeah, definitely.
That's so sick.
So
That's so sick
Yeah,
that you guys
so
mix
That's
it
what
up.
caught my attention with you guys is just your versatility. You know what I mean, like you being able to just create the music that you guys do. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, like you guys make that impact that we were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys have that impact.
thanks, brother.
You know. And when you listen to these, like, you know, your predecessors in music, you know what I mean? Like all the major bands, you know, they created their own sound, you know, and yeah, you guys are on your way.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Well, and that's the thing. It's cool because your creativity, how you're all over the place, is that you guys have a different sense of creativity. You don't just stick with the same thing.
Definitely.
You know, you don't just stick with the same thing. You kind of just go with how all of you guys are feeling, and then just make a track about it. Like you just said, you go from reggae to hard rock, and then, you know what I mean, just to jams and everything like that. And like that's super cool because there's a lot of versatility and diversity in that kind of way through music, and that's what makes you guys different. You know, and you always want to be different through music. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be the same old like fucking Nickelback, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or Wham.
Yeah, I mean, like
Shout out George Michaels.
But you don't want to be the same as that, you know what I mean? And that's the cool, the versatility that you guys have is really cool from what I've heard so far, and I'm going to listen to a lot more, you know, because Bob just introduced me literally like just a couple weeks, and then he said, we got an interview with them. I was like, all right, let's get it set up. And then I did my research. Like late night, and I was like, oh, I got to listen to these guys so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because he made it happen so fast. So shout out my boy Bob.
Yeah, man. And well, once again, you know, just, you know, from my heart, you know, thank you guys for even just taking your time.
This is
you know.
awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, we try to establish the, you know, we give the vibe of comfortability, man. You know, and that's, you know, it's what we try to really do. You know, we want to make our guests feel comfortable. You know.
Oh, we're comfortable.
Yeah, and you know, just, you know, shout out to the lousy slaughters.
Yep. So
Wait. Slouters.
yes, let's see that. Yeah,
It's the slaughters, the slouters, the slouters. It's the slouters.
It's the slaughters of the motherfucking
Yes.
goddess. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the thing. You're here with Rob. You're here with Bob. You're here with the lousy slouters. Man, this has been an episode that I am so happy to have. The anticipation and patience that I've had has run so thin. But now that it has happened, I'm literally super fully fulfilled. And I hope everybody who's watching, that you guys tune into these guys' music. And just even if you're not even into rock and roll, give it a fucking try. All right? Because like they just said, they do all different kinds of things. There's versatility and diversity in their music. It's not just the same thing that you're going to hear every time, you know? And I learned that, even like I just said. I learned 2 weeks ago these guys were a band, and then I had 4 days to figure out their music and listen to their music. So within that, I learned a lot of different things. And from being in a personal experience, a personal environment with these guys, it just goes to show their real potential and what they really got going on. So I really hope you guys listen. I'm going to put all the links in my bio. I'm going to spread the word. Major shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. Bob, thank you for bringing these guys along. You know what I mean? Bob is my right-hand man, and we do this together, just as you guys do things together to make the music beautiful. You know, so yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being part of Try TV.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And if nobody loves you, just know I love you. We're coming with more creations, and these guys are creative as can be. So you already know. You know what I mean? You're looking at it right now.
You already know.
You already know. You're looking at it right now.
Give it a try.
You're looking at creativity across the board around the table right now. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank you for tuning in to Try TV. Subscribe, like, bench press that shit, baby. Bench press that like and subscribe button because we're only going to be coming to you for more. And I'm sure I'm going to have these guys on again. I'm sure I'm going to get I'm going to get a whole different setup, and then we're going to have a jam going. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can have a jam going together. Yeah, hopefully I could bring
that'd be sick.
I'd like to bring the podcast. I like to bring the podcast to you guys. You know what I mean? And that way we could
studios.
Yeah, and we could do like a whole jam session. So yeah, look forward to that because we're gonna plan something out like that. But again, like I said, shout out to my boy Bob for bringing the Lousy Slouters in. Again, Lousy Slouters. I'm sorry that I fucked it up the first time. The Lousy, just remembering your name, the Lousy Slouters, but they are slaughtering the motherfucking game. You know what I mean? In creativity. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Bob. Thank you so much, bro, for bringing these guys in to have a beautiful experience. And shout out to everybody listening. Once again, you're a witness to Try TV. And I hope you have a good day, good night, good evening, wherever in the fuck you're listening from. Is there any last words for anybody? All right, so I guess we got a motherfucking episode in. You know what I mean? Welcome and goodbye from Try TV and the Lousy Slouters. Thank you and goodbye.